I'm Modern Synthesist, Mr. Pink, and this is a random stream to get back on the old hobby horse when it comes to this damn Tyranid Dominatrix project that I'm working on for Flinthammer. I was doing these streams very regularly for a time, and then had a vacation, fell off the, I don't know, the rhythm. Also discovered video games are a hell of a drug. I can't play video games and do work, like do model work. So I'm very much one or the other. So you can blame Sandfall Interactive, is that what they're called? And Clair Obscur, otherwise known as Expedition 33, for stealing me away from you. That's the video game that I discovered. Because so many people have been telling me it's so good for so long, and I was like, yeah, I need to finally figure it out. Anyway, neither here nor there. I'm glad there are some folks here. Hello, Symbio Joe. Hello, Radon. Hello, Dan Kaplinger. Hello, Diana. Good to see you all in the stream chat here. I'm probably not going to be doing anything super epic and out of this world on the Dominid tonight. This is where we're at so far. The last stream on Creature Conference, I fixed up these armor plates by cutting them up and getting them a little more sharp detail, which I'm happy with. And I was thinking tonight of maybe doing some putty work here to mesh these two things, maybe doing some putty work on the gun. Still some rough pieces shoved together. But yeah, so we'll see what we do. Yeah, I won't be on for super long because in Canada, we used to be very big on following the United States and everything they do. And I think it was the United States that decided that they were going to move when daylight savings time happens to be like the change happens 2 weeks earlier than the rest of the world because they're fancy like that. So yeah, we had that on Saturday. So right now we're only 4 hours behind the UK rather than 5 hours behind the UK, and I guess that means we're 5 hours behind Germany rather than 6 hours. Doing my math right? Yeah, and all that is to say that I'm gonna feel like I'm kicking ass and taking names, despite the fact that it's actually later than I think it is. Be aware of that, and go to bed at a reasonable time. It's work time tomorrow. Also feeling a little bit under the weather, but nothing major. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna be working on the body. I mean, I might cut these things up. A bit sticky outy. They're a bit sticky outy and they might need to be addressed. I don't think I want to like bulk up the body. Why don't I just do that right now? I'm thinking about doing this for a while. I don't know why I haven't done it. I think because I think about it when I'm not streaming, I'm like, oh, I should do that on a stream. I neglect to. This was like the mantle from the Tyranid effect? No, it's a Neurotyrant that I rearranged creatively. Okay. Looking at like the lines of the existing plates and how I can like maybe continue this plate up into here. But the reality is that I want to block this armhole entirely because I don't like that armhole being so close to the leg. So this is going to be the armhole for the Scything Talons. And I was thinking about, well, I was actually thinking about putting a second armhole here, Scything Talon, here for supporting arms. But then I wondered if maybe what I do is this for Scything Talon, and I steal a page out of, well, originally High Fleet Malak when he did his, one of his Carnifexes, where he mounted the, he had the Scything Talon arms in like the normal spot, and then he mounted the Death Devourer arms in the like chest area. And I kind of did that on my fixed Norn Emissary. And I really like it. And like these lower arms are supposed to be supporting the beast, like on the ground, kind of like running claw sort of things. So having them lower, I think, makes more sense on a quadrupedal Tyranid rather than having them in this same horizontal line. So yeah, let's move fast and make some models. I forgot about that thing we invented. So I probably got to cut this because I'm probably going to sculpt this plate back and up. Very pretty piece, but I swore to myself that I wasn't going to resculpt all these armor plates, but I think we're getting close to that eventuality. Or oh no. Oi, 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 oi. Go. Oh, this week 10 thing. Okay. What is going on the chat? Mr. Pink did not schedule for the wrong day. It is not this. Undiagnosed. Dan Kaplinger wonders if me not starting the stream on time was an undiagnosed daylight savings time fiasco. Not this time, Dan, but I have been known to do that, so I can see why you would expect that might be the case. Yeah, so Dan, Canada follows the US when it comes to savings time. And it says, how do folks? Tom's here. Hello, Tom. Is that pink poster tack? Yes, this is pink poster tack that I got off of a terrible online sales platform plug here. Because I was envious because Ryan's Minis had pink poster, and Ryan's Minis pink poster tack was far more fluorescent and glorious than this. I guess this is poser poster. My cope poster tack. This guy, I don't think I'm gonna be sculpting it now. I want to sculpt on the gun, but I don't want to like thinking of putting a pin in theoretically. Is my pinning stuff? Here, pin vise. Should not have that view. This view up. Be clear on what I'm screwing up. I'm screwing it up. All right. Let's get a big stonking pin. Oh, that works. And let's get a bit to match. Oh, those aren't big enough. See, a real professional would have all their gauges of pins organized by diameter, but that is not me. That's about right. Give you yet. Okay. Good. This is just there. Definitely epoxy green, definitely not green stuff. It drills. It's hard. See. That's working. Has anyone in here played Expedition 33, or am I just speaking to the void? I mean, it won Game of the Year. I figure some people might have played it. The RPG. Probably enough. Not only will this help me hold the piece while I sculpt it, so fingers in it, my detail that I'm sculpting, it will also help me mount the piece into the finished model. This rod. It in some epoxy sculpting green stuff. Of course, it's not perfectly on line with the center axis, because, you know, that would be too perfect. Baking soda out of now to let this dry before I mess with it too much. I fit it handy dandy pin vise without. Not likely, but. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right, so that'll dry. And I'll come back for it. In the meantime, let's clean this space up. We go dead quiet for a second because I got a vacuum. And vacuum. One of the best purchases I ever made for my hobby. Because when stuff gets messy, you can clean it up immediately. And it won't get in your sculpting. Hooray. All right. So, because I'm a fancy man, I want to do a little bit of sculpting tonight. And I just so happen... Oh, it's not really sculpting. I just so happen to have procured a fresh tube of blue, yellow, Knead-A-Tight green stuff, the original green stuff, epoxy putty from PPG before they shut down the operations. Well, no, after they shut down the operations. It was on the internet, got it off eBay. So this is fresh. This is the freshest green stuff I have in my house, I hope. And I've taken it out of the plastic it comes in. I've put it in parchment paper because it reacts with the plastic. The way to test yellow part of your green stuff, if you're not sure how fresh it is, touch the outside. If it's sticky, you're good. If it's not sticky, you've got a problem. This is still sticky. So can I even get these off? These things always like stick. Like, I don't know what they think they make these out of, but it's not the right material. Okay. I hate these stupid apps. Like, they never come off clean. Never, ever. Oh. God dang it. Yeah, I'll say this tip again. If anyone's watching this video and has never watched my videos before, if you have green stuff and it's got hard bits in it, possible cause number one is that if you bought tape and it was in contact with the blue, it'll start to cure along the blue-yellow line. But likely scenario two is that the green stuff has been in contact with the plastic packaging for too long. The yellow part specifically has been in contact with the plastic packaging it comes in for too long, and it has started to react because that plastic off gases on stuff that can make the resin set. I've never used parchment paper for this before. I'm a little paranoid that it's going to stick to the green stuff, but maybe everything sticks to the yellow. Whatever. You know what I mean. Probably don't need more of that, but YOLO. I got a whole bar of it. We go. And the blue part. Let's do this end, as this end is messy. Once again, this butt cap is probably clean. Is not. Useless. Get out. God, this blue stuff's sticky. Oh no, what the heck is that? This is my least favorite part. Stupid, I should just cut it all off. Goodbye. Just fling it off. Cool. What's going on in the chat? Great on the curved X-Acto blade I got. It's from some American supplier. And I know that because my local hobby store has all these really cool X-Acto blades. And I'm like, hey, why aren't you guys getting more of these X-Acto blades in? And then he's like, did you look at the packaging? The big American flag on it. So they're not ordering it in because, I don't know, tariffs and stuff. I don't remember what they're called, though. There's a store that a company that makes like a bunch of different X-Acto blades. It's where I get my chisel blades from. American manufacturer. I honestly, I get the packages. I open the packages. I take out the blades, and then I throw away the like, because the blades come in like a little tube. I don't know if it's helpful, but white packaging. It's like a white blister pack with like white cardboard. I think it's got blue writing on it. They come in these tubes with red caps. That's a chisel blade. I don't know if that's really have no idea. Tell you what, if you go on Google and you look up Wheels and Wings Hobbies, Toronto, Ontario, and you go to their I think they have a tools section or something like that. In their tools section, if you look up like blades, they'll probably have some in stock. That would be my best bet for trying to figure out where I got them from. So I can't be more help right now. Oh. Okay. Back in your hole. So yeah, they all the blades come from the same manufacturer. So that's where I got the curved one that I'm sure I'm gonna cut my finger off with one day. And so usually I combine my green stuff with epoxy sculpt. However, my new best friend is magic sculpt, which I've been experimenting with. So I'm gonna try combining the green stuff with magic sculpt. See how that treats me. Sticky. Or okay. Mix that together. Tom Wilson, you say that you think Flynn's gonna be getting a hell of a deal on this Dom. Flynn already paid for this Dom. Paid in full. And he even gave me a little bonus in addition to the commission rate that we agreed to, and that he gave me an actual original real protonid. So he's paid me handsomely for this work. But it is always the case that anytime I quote someone for a commission, I always wind up doing more work than I expected. So though they might seem like high prices, it's always a deal. Because I don't change my price if I wind up putting in a lot of work. Like when I charged for the last Tyranid Dominatrix that I made, that one I didn't quite plan to resculpt the whole friggin' thing when I started, so that client definitely got a deal. I got a bit of cash back from him when he said that he wanted me to make crushing claws for it, because that wasn't part of our initial agreement, but it was still a very good deal for him. I feel like I should put more green in this, but it's pleasant. Maybe I'll put a little more. Get that tube out again. The curved blade. Symbio Joe saying real professionals, a capitalistic propaganda to make you work harder. I don't really know what that's. It's probably some. I forgot about it. But sounds right. Not much of a gamer these days. Depression killed off as a hobby for me. Never really got back into it. That makes sense, Tom. I fall out of games for a long time because, like I said, they eat hobby time. So if I want to do hobby, can't do much games. But people just kept recommending this game to me for many different reasons. I gotta try it. This is probably more putty than I need. Whatever. Redon says Expedition 33 isn't really my type of game. Makes sense. Oh, Symbio, you recently finished XCOM Chimera Squad. I had heard that XCOM Chimera Squad was not very good and was not happy shiny. It wasn't that much of an XCOM game. So I'm curious to hear your review of it, because I just kind of wrote it off. But I'm a huge fan of XCOM. So it would be cool if that game was not terrible. I have way too much. I no longer have a freezer in my studio, so I don't really want to run it inside. Definitely denser than epoxy sculpt. And the magic sculpt for this. Okay, I got my Nivea to lubricate my tools. Take it on my hand. What do I want? Got my tools. Silicone shaper. Smaller silicone shaper. Ball burnisher, maybe. Doing kind of like spinal column stuff. Always need a spoon tool. Can't go nowhere without a spoon tool. Spoon tool. Knife tool. Hydro tool. Ah, this spoon tool's too good. I was just scared. Oh, Diana just saw a video where a guy discovered how wonderful green stuff is and your heart goes out to him. That's a cool video. Happy to hear that. And I'm glad they didn't get frustrated by it right off the bat, because it'd be very frustrating to work with when you just start, because it's so sticky. Right, so what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and extend this spinal, like merge these two spinal columns together. Not very exciting, but needs to be done. Oh, Excel, yes, Radon, that's the brand, Excel. That sounds familiar. So my blades are Excel brand. For certain. Here's your answer. I'm going to jog my memory. Need some green stuff in here too. Silicone shaper, because it's like sculpting with a paintbrush. Out of here, shitty little hairs. So Symbio, you said you finished Chimera Squad because reading is hard. Does that mean that you prefer consuming your stories through video games rather than books? I had a moment with my dad when I was playing Final Fantasy VIII on our family computer. Family computer? Was it my own? I think it was the family computer. And he came in and he was watching me play it. And he's like, I don't understand how you can go and play this game every day. Like, I feel like you're always kind of just doing the same thing. Like, how can it stay interesting? And I was like, well, you see, Dad, like, I'm playing through a story. This is kind of like a book, but it's an interactive book. But there's still like the whole like story elements where like the different characters and like dialogue and all that kind of stuff. And that really worked for him. Like the scales fell from his eyes or whatever that expression is. He's like, oh my God, okay, it's like a book. Oh, I totally understand. Okay, well then carry on. Because my dad always had a lot of respect for books. And basically I could ask him to buy me video games or electronics till I was blue in the face. But if I asked him to get me a book, he's like, I'll buy you all the books you want. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, so video games, just like another book. Kind of book. Okay, I want to put a little more putty up the sides. Cell Tulip, the sister of Axel Rose. Well done, Symbiote. Surely the sister of Axel Rose should be some other piece of a R's transmission, not transmission, suspension, shouldn't it? Isn't the axle part of the, I guess you wouldn't call that suspension. I feel like it should be a car thing. I feel like it should be some car thing, Tulip. But I understand that axle sounds like cell or Excel. This is a slightly harder silicone shaper. That's why the tip is black. Out of here, stupid little hairs. By harder, I mean the silicone is a little more resistant than the lighter. Yeah. But keep coming back to my German secret weapon from Hydra with love. If you're in Germany, and you live near an art store called Bösner, get in there and get yourself some of these Art Modelaire Kegel Konik #2 silicone shapers, because they're the only ones that have this bullet shape on the tip. All the Royal Sovereign ones are pointy at the end. Look way better on the other side. Okay. Silence, the best kind of stream. Really, I'm not much of a conversationalist when I don't have someone here to push me to it. Hmm. The more I do this, the more I hate it. No one's gonna be looking at the back of this guy anyway. Two things have been meshed. All right. What's going on in the old Chatterino? Oh, put it on the detail you just sculpted. Good plan. Okay, good enough. There is, okay. Chat Rooney. Let's see. Drive Shaft Pony. Drive Shaft Peony is excellent. Oh, are we getting names for Axl Rose's sister now? Here we go. Okay. Okay, Excel Tulip. Oh, tongue in cheek. Flynn getting a good deal. Yes, I get it, Tom. Oh, so you stopped playing Chimera, XCOM Chimera thing until this year, and now it's no longer buggy symbiosis. There's still some bugs, but nothing game breaking. It is not XCOM when it comes to the meta mechanics, but it is still XCOM on the ground level. Okay, I should check it out. Is it a mobile game, Symbio Joe? Or is it on the is it a PC game? Because I thought it was a mobile game, but maybe I'm confusing it with something else. Radon spreading the good word about Nivea, that's good. Diana. Oh, this is the guy who was doing the green stuff video. He used Milliput before, saying how much better green stuff is because of the flexibility, etc. I don't think he knows that it is now going to be hard to come by, I guess. Oh, hard to come by green stuff. There's still green stuff to be bought right now, but if you don't have it and you've been meaning to get some, I would get some soon because it's not gonna stick around for much. Like, I think Brett in our Discord, Brett was saying that there's a guy in Australia who has something like 290 tubes of green stuff, so they exist. Mausoleum Radiator Tulip. That's a good name for Axl Rose's sister. I like that. Drive Shaft Peony is also a great name, Diana. Enjoying the stream, don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment. Thank you, Diana, for reminding people that if you're enjoying my stream of silent sculpting, please be sure to like the stream, leave a comment if you're watching like the recording of this after the fact, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel because last stream this Tyranid Dominatrix was only 24% done, so there's a lot more of this to come. Thanks, Diana. You start to sound like mobster names. Oh, the mobster names. Brother Pink, I don't know if I want you on the phone. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on, so I think I'm just going to continue doing the silent treatment. But thank you. Chat want to hear something, Molly. Am I muted? No, I was muted. Am I what? Muted? Oh, you think I was muted because I wasn't saying anything? Okay. Yeah, I can't talk constantly. It's boring. Let me play Kitty or Can. There once was a late night TV format in Germany called Silent Cooking. Oh, that's cute. Looks like YouTube does not like talk about inches. I don't understand that. Symbiote, a certain part of the night, we just got a title card with a creepy girl with an even more creepy clown and really high-pitched tone. That sounds creepy, Tom. And especially in the middle of the night. I guess that's so your parents know if you turn on the TV in the middle of the night. Dara O'Brien bit where he was talking about an article he read about symptoms you shouldn't ignore, like blindness, sudden loss of height. Oh, wow. Sounds like a cruel way to get woken up when fell asleep in front of the telly. Yes. All right. On to more sculpting. So I'm not really sure what I want to sculpt on the sides here. Maybe I just fill in random gribbly detail. Little space. I mean, there's some gribbly detail on there already. Fill this gap. This is the bio cannon. So this has been made, if you can't recognize the pieces, this has been made from both of the Biovore cannons. So this here is the Pyrovore one, and this is the Biovore one, but it's been split in half, and it's had a barrel from a Barb Strangler inserted into it. And this is purely because Flynnhammer and I really wanted to use the, we were talking about the concept for the Beast and talking about how I'm going to do it. We had considered the guns from the Biovore, but then we looked at them and we're like, oh, I don't know, they're kind of small. They might be too small for a Tyranid Dominatrix, but I really wanted to use them. So I was like, maybe I can find a way to take a bunch of guns and put them together so I can still use them, but it's not just like I'm relying on Biovore cannon to be big enough for a epic Tyranid monstrosity. So it was a little bit because like Flynnhammer didn't say like firmly, like, don't do it. But I felt like I was being a little bit contrarian because we had evaluated them, thought they wouldn't work, and then I was kind of like, well, I'll show you, and by you I mean myself. I'm like, I'm gonna make it work anyway. So hence this monstrosity where they're all shoved together. I think it works. And in detail in there. So, okay. I mean, if y'all are like, Expedition 33 isn't my vibe, get it. But if you were ever into like Final Fantasy, particularly earlier Final Fantasies, like Final Fantasy 2, 3/6, maybe a bit of 7, and you know about like Moogles? I don't know if they're called Moggles or Moogles. They got kind of famous with Final Fantasy 7 because Mog, a Moogle character, was on the box of Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 3 in North America, which released in Japan as Final Fantasy 6. There was this weird white bear thing on it with like bat wings and like a red ball tail, and I think he had like some kind of antenna on his head. Basically like a Teletubby white bear with some demon vibe to it. Anyway, that was Mog. He was a character in the game. His race is called Moogles. They're these weird little bear things. Yes, I know they've tried to bring Moogles back in other Final Fantasy games, but I feel like they weren't as cool as in 3/6. Anyway, the Moogles were really like kind of like light-hearted characters within the game, and like they like danced and they did fun stuff. So like when there was like serious stuff happening in the game, you could count on the Moogles to lighten it up. So they have something like that in Expedition 33. They're called Gestrels, and they're basically like, picture if you were to go to an art store and you were to buy one of those. They have those wooden they're not mannequins. They're like about 12 inches tall, and they have like articulation in them. They're made of wood, and I think the idea is you're supposed to use them to kind of like create poses that you can see like how the human body would form those poses. And you can buy them. Yeah, you can buy them at art stores. Anyway, picture something like that, but then instead of a head, like a round wooden head like those things have, there's a brush, like a paintbrush. That's basically what a gestrel is. And they're alive and they talk, and they're all like spackled with paint in like wild colors. And they come in all different shapes and sizes. Like there's little baby kid ones, and there's like big giant bruiser ones, big fat ones. But their whole thing is that their culture is all about fighting. Like they're like these goofy, friendly, like and they talk really weird. But then they're like, oh, want to fight? Oh, I'm gonna go kick someone's butt. Oh, I'm gonna get killed, and then I'm gonna be reborn in the sacred river, and then it's gonna be great. And it's really weird, but they're pretty hilarious. Anyway, you have played Expedition 33. That's where I just left. Just left the Gestural Village. They're fun. I like them. But they also play like it seems like they play the merchants in the game. So like you'll like run into them in the wilds, and they're the ones who sell you stuff. But also, if you want to get like the best stuff they have to sell, you have to beat them up. You have to like fight the merchant, and if you beat the merchant, you get like one special item that you can buy from him, in addition to all his normal stuff. Anyway, game you're not interested in and don't play, but those are my experiences so far. Right. Random goopy gumdrops details. Okay, so I should continue this weird kind of barrel formation dip. Now I've got the Moogle song. Oh no, it's not the Moogle song. I've got the Dwarven town song from Secret of Mana in my head. Wait on. Okay. Let's see here. How do this is going okay. Not bad. Not bad. What do I need? I need the Hydra Sculpting Tool, otherwise known as 2 nails shoved into the ends of a paintbrush. Okay, now I don't know what to do here. Let's see. Yes, I understand. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, apparently Radon is losing height. Transition. So Kajan in his hobby spent the last week preparing a cyberpunk rocker gal character for the pen and paper session, RPG session last Friday, and last couple of days I've spent on my Vesk envoy for the Starfinder campaign. I don't know what Starfinder is. Is that another role playing game? Dinah, what kind of hobby you been up to? But yes, let us know in the chat what everyone's been hobbying. No. An ugly seam that I need to plaster over. Yeah, maybe I just commit to making it like a window. It's challenging because I heard the 2 parts baking soda and super. There's weird texture under here that I keep running into. Way too much green stuff. Have too much than too little? Hmm. More green stuff at the end. Zoom in a little closer, but then I'm worried that I'm going to move out of the... They get in there. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Mesh 3 barrels together, he said. It'll be I'd rather it be sailing. Cookie for you if you get through. Boop, 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 boop. New job is a good one. Okay. Cyberpunk. Oh my god. So much stuff going on. Oh. Pathfinder in space. Okay, we've heard it. 7-foot tall warrior race lizard people. That's cool. Touristic. Krogan meets Klingon. The Krogan way. Starfinder's Bard. Familiar with the whole D&D thing. Whoa, Diana, your family's GM. That's cool. Why do I keep... Oh, there it is. Okay, what else is going on in chat? Radon is doing kitbashing videos. We'll play with Cyberpunk. Cool. Helped decorate the shop at our studio. Painted some tentacles. Made some jewelry. That's cool, Tom. Diana had to make a prop book for my niece's World Book Day costume this week. Oh, that's cool. I struggled to find any videos of an actual beginner. Book binding tutorials are rarely newbie friendly. I looked at a couple of them because I made my dice tray into a book. Okay. So Radon, it's cool that you're doing your own videos, but I feel like you're describing a lot of videos that I've already made. But okay. Binders for my players include a fold-up dice tray. That's really cool, Diana, that you can make a fold-up dice tray and a ring binder for your D&D players. Diana, how we come up with ideas for Tyranids is we just buy a bunch of different models and we just try and slap them together and see what fits. It might look like something more complicated than that, but I feel like that's the basic. Also, we've been messing around with Tyranids for a long time. So, we've got them in our brains. Living rent-free up there, man. A lot of my ideas come from concept art. See, like a cool concept. That would be a nice... I like working. Because it gives you enough guidance for where things should be and what goes where, but it's not perfectly a fully rendered model, so I feel like there's still enough wiggle room. Concept art to do your own thing. Like, working on this Tyranid Dominatrix, I'm basically, like, my concept for it is the old, yo, Brett! Hey, buddy! Top of the morning to you! Down under! Sorry. Yeah, like, my concept for this Tyranid Dom is the epic one. I wanna hew closer to that. So it's like looking at the epic one, looking at the structures of how those structures would be like modernized and like in Tyranid design language, or if they're not, if they're structures that don't exist in the modern design, make them look like they make sense in terms of modern designs. Sculpt over this whole piece. Oh, I was on the note of Diana saying earlier she saw that video of that person who discovered green stuff for the first time. I found a Reddit post today of a person who was doing some of their first sculpting with green stuff and was just making sure that no one was giving them bad tips and kind of like contributing my own tips. Fortunately, someone else already pointed them towards Nivea. Great. But I don't think it was that person. Someone was like, oh yes, but remember, if you use Nivea, you got to be careful because you can't add more green stuff to it. It won't stick. Not my experience. I keep globbing more and more green stuff onto this thing and it's sticking. Even on the camera? No, I'm not on the camera. Oh, I'm obsessing. Just gotta accept it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Getting annoyed. Oh my god. The magic sculpt and green stuff, it's working pretty well so far. Not mad. Slightly more resistant. Slightly more resistance when you're sculpting it than with epoxy sculpt, because epoxy sculpt can be pretty make the green stuff. But it's pleasant. Let's detail it. Ah. I like that's a little better. Hmm. Stuff good enough. Maybe I can't get the exact right barrel look that I want now to be happy enough with all of this, and then let it harden, and then come back and fine tune this part because it's really happening for me. I would. Oh, I think I'm getting near done in terms of what I've got steam for this evening. So, friends, it was 24% done last time. A little bit of green stuffing on the gun, a little bit of green stuffing on the back here. What would you say the percentage is of the completion of this miniature from 24. What have we got up to this evening? Please put your answers in the chat. Remember, don't go too high, because I don't want to do the thing where we get stuck and then the final videos, it's like 80, 98.3, 98.4, because I've run out of room, or whatever. Space in the percentages. So what do you think this is? Above 24%. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So I shouldn't, I'm like, oh, I should start on this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some filler in that and not sculpt it, because I will definitely stick my finger in it. In fact, I've already kind of done that down here. Need to smooth that out. Okay. Oi, oi, oi. A little bit of filler. Come back and do it better later. Yeah, Brett, how do you come up with ideas for your Tyranids? Where do you get inspiration from? Some horror movies, because your Tyranids are terrifying? Would that be it? If you don't know Brett's Tyranids, you got to go check out Quarantine Miniatures over on Instagram. He's got some scary, scary Tyranids. The best way. Oh, that's what I need. Chisel. Oh, get out of here. Chisel silicone shaper. Probably going to resculpt these edges after, but might as well get as flesh as I can now. Little bit of filler. Don't know what I'm going to do here. Probably going to totally resculpt this area to give it, because it's very flat now. Shape. Anyway, I'm just filling. Don't get obsessive, because you're going to go back and do more detail later. It's fine. It's fine. What time is it? Oh, 9:30. I should go. Okay. Yep. This part is good. I haven't obliterated the detail down here yet. That's great. This is going to be fixed later. Not happy with it yet. Whatever. Fix it later. Don't obsess now. Really wanted to add some detail down in the barrel, but I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Right now, it's like a piece of plastic card tube in there, and all the barrels are coming. All right, so that's what we accomplished. this evening. And in terms of percentages, people are saying 27%. 25%. Where did I get 27? 25%, 26%, 24.5. 24.5 seems sad. That seems like when I was carving shit the other night. Just asked, yeah. Brett just closes his eyes and sees what happens. That's a good way to come up with ideas. Can I fill this head? Stuff that, look. Don't regret this later, Jones. Where's this gonna go? I don't know. Leave it to me to use some extra putty to fill something. Obsessed about sculpting. It's just filler. It's just filler. And this. Overthinking it. Overthinking, overanalyzing, separate the body from the mind. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Putty is used. Here we go. Okay. 25, 26, 24, 27. All right, I'm going with 26. 26%. Baby steps, baby. 22%, 24%, 26%. Oh, man. God, I gotta call this. Feeling a bit tight. Oh, yeah, nah. What? Yeah, nah. Whoa, you're the paperclip. That's awesome. Yeah, nah. Threader? Redder? Yeah, nah. Threader? That's cool. That's a cool name. And a cool avatar, Mr. Paperclip. Well, Mr. Paperclip, I'll have you know that the brand of clay shaper that I prefer, good question, is... Let's see if we can make this thing focus. Come on. Come on. Okay, this needs to not be in the background. Come on, I believe in you. Anytime now. Okay, it's Royal Sovereign. Royal Sovereign, Clay Shapers, Limited UK. Usually you can get these in fine art. Well, I don't know. In Canada, you can get these in fine art stores. They're in the brush aisle. You can also get them at fancy sculpting stores if you have those. I feel very lucky that we have one. This is an extra firm one because the tip is black. But you can get them white, which is like the normal toughness, and then like a medium gray, which is like a medium hardness. And they are excellent. They're way better than the Amazon ones, but they'll cost you like this. If you were to buy this one, which is a 0, it's probably going to cost you as much as like a Winsor Newton sable hair brush. But as long as you don't touch super glue with this tip, you can just keep using it. And I would highly recommend investing in Royal Sovereign. They're sometimes called silicone brushes, sometimes called clay shapers. I would recommend investing in Royal Sovereign, because if you go and buy cheap clay shapers off of Amazon, you're going to get cheap clay shaper results. I'm not just saying that because I'm a snob. I tried buying them because I was hoping that I could recommend them to people. But I cannot recommend them because the silicone is simply not even silicone. I think it's rubber. It's just too flexible. And you can get by with it, but it's not nearly as pleasant to work with as the good stuff from Royal Sovereign. So good question. All right, that is that. Thank you all for joining me on this random stream. Happy to get a little more work done on the Tyranid Dom. I'm not sure when I'll be back for my next stream. I know I intend to stream on Wednesday with Kajan, if Kajan's available, and Will and Shane, if they are available. We haven't talked about that yet. And then I'm going to be doing a super delayed birthday stream with my brother on Saturday, early Saturday morning. We're going to bust out his Marigal Dreadnought. I'm going to make some more progress on that. So you can look forward to that on Saturday if you're, well, early my time, probably like 7:30 Eastern, but if you're in Europe, it would probably be midday-ish. But yeah, so that's it for me. Have a great night. Thank you for joining the stream, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.